actually powered by Intel, presented by me and memed by Nahaz. We're back at the desk for game number 3 in our second series of the day. All to play for right now. I kind of hate these games for the players, because you know them and you know what they go through and these things. Oh, God, how did we throw that one away? OG are going to be thinking that. Mineski, on the other hand, are going in to go, we got this, guys.
We just
Complete contrast, isn't it?
We just had two similar situations, right? First game, Mineski's like, man, we're 8K gold ahead. We got this. What just happened? We lost. Oh, God. Now OG, we're 15K ahead. Let's go, guy. Wait, what? Oh, we just lost as well. So now, flip side, whole new game, like you said, best of one. Pretty
it's
much
really cool, though, because the stage manager came over and he was like, is this going to be 2-0? And I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
probably. I mean, don't rule the other team out, because it can, And he's like, oh, so it's not like League of Legends. And I was like, well, we get more back and forward, I guess. It's because he's done a lot of league. So
Did you have to?
No, I'm just saying he'd done a lot of league games, so that's what he understood. So he was kind of looking at it thinking, oh, this is they're going to win this 100%. And it just shows. It's another example of how wonderful the game is in terms of the mechanics and the setup, and because you just never know in this game anymore.
Yeah, our game is a lot more complex. Thanks, Paul.
It's a lot better.
I did not say that.
No, I understand where you were picking up. You throw it down like that, I'll pick it up for you and translate it for the audience. Don't worry about it.
Don't turn it into something it's not.
Good job, Kev.
Yeah, it is just wonderful when it happens like that. Just have those games which you think, yeah, this is definitely going that way, and it actually goes the other one. Anyway, game number 3, draft upon us and bans incoming. What we expected, Cap?
No Naga Siren, no...
Tiny.
What is the problem with game 2? I don't think there really was a problem for game 2, to be honest. If I'm OG, I'm way more tilted about game 2 than Mineski should be about game 1.
Agreed.
It's way easier to look at this look at a single hero or a single factor in the Naga from game 1 than it is to pinpoint any single thing from game 2. I will go back to talking about something I mentioned after game 1, and that's anytime you can win with a single core strategy, but it's very little margin for error. And that felt like, despite the fact that S4's puck was quite farmed toward the end, outright purchasing the Dagon 5, that felt like a single core strategy.
The way they played around. The way that they played around, yeah. The way that the itemization from Monkey King, BKB Lincolns, and I mean the data list was weird. I'll flat out say it. I didn't really understand that one.
I think once you've gone both BKB and Lincolns as your first 2 items, and you want the 300 cast range talent on the tree dance.
Yep.
Right. Once you do that, there's no next item that's really great, I think.
But he's first Guardian Angel.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. Where he went pure physical.
But what do you build instead from there? It's like to me the game plan was, let's go those 2 items, let's create space, let's get a pick off and push high ground. And there was no end game after that.
I don't like super harping on items because I don't think that game was lost because of item decisions so much in comparison to the one that they lost the other day with the Storm Spirit not going BKB early. This one I think was the play that
I agree.
was the cause of them losing. So
I think that's totally fair.
So this time, we see the Death Prophet taken out, so they are a little bit concerned. Even though they punished the hell out of Moon in the laning phase, at the end of the day, the Death Prophet still did its job with Exorcism.
Maybe a 4 or 5 ban on DK from OG, because I think that carry DK is absurd.
Or they take it themselves.
Or they take it themselves.
I mean, DK is looking like and looking Genting. Looks like the opposing team just have
hero
no
of the
answer.
tournament, doesn't it?
Yep.
Just starting to look that way.
What is this?
Yeah.
Bane.
And right now,
So they left the gyro.
DK.
Oh God,
And,
yes.
and they left gyro this time. So the other time Mineski did ban out the gyro, but they take the Bane. So I was talking about this with Vici. Every time they've seen gyro picked up, Bane responds with Vici. And I think Mineski's doing similar. And they're setting up for the Mirana.
Yep. Yeah. Finally get the priest of the moon using the priestess of the moon.
6-0 this year, and it's a great combo for them.
5 seconds.
Yeah, just going back to the DK. 12 picks now at this particular tournament out of the 19 games. It's 75% from 12.
Huh.
9 out of 12 so far. Disruptor, by the way, also picked up 12 times, 33% win rate.
Yeah.
Nice.
Rubik 13, 61.5, and the most picked Gyro 14 with a 57.1% win rate so far. So those are the top 4. Outside of that, the Naga is tied with Sand King, Brew, Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor will just jump ahead of that now with the 10th pick so far.
Earth Spirit. All right. So last game, Tusk is a lot about, like we said, not really that team fight aspect. He's a lot about just dominating the lanes, making the moves. Sure, in some situations he can apply more to team fights, but Earth Spirit, that is full-blown team fight.
Yes.
This is what OG
Full-blown
wants to do.
Jerax.
Yes.
And Tusk tends to be more of a reactionary hero in team fights, whereas Earth Spirit, you're the ones initiating from long range.
And you can mess with these type of combos. You have Bane Mirana, You see the Mirana, they go for like some sleep. I mean, they can't even really do the sleep setups now in the middle of the fights. It's gonna be impossible because this Earth Spirit's starting fights. However, it is Mineski's super comfort.
Radiant team
Yeah,
back.
so Brew's the first ban.
Yeah, Brew, and then they might even still
OD
ban
was the
OD.
one, yeah, was
they
the
might
one last
still
game.
just take out the OD.
I actually would, so against any other team, I'd maybe dispute that, but again, Mineski's, to me, the lineups where they've looked good, it's been 2 of their 3 cores on traditional mid. So Mirana and OD is a combo that they actually have run together.
5 seconds remaining.
What else with the combo heroes? I'm trying to remember from Starlighter because I remember they ran this one and I was like, it was the Brew, it was the Naga, but they also had something else I feel like they had for like the setup. They had something like the, I think it was the Sanking, so that one is the one that's taken out early on. But I like the Lycan ban a lot from Mineski. I think that's a hero that just Mirana can't do too much because you can't even set up your own arrows with the Bane anymore because there's wolves.
Did they do an
boats
ET
all over.
Mirana? Maybe that was
I feel like
somebody else.
Mineski's not an
10
ET team.
seconds remaining.
They're more of having Ninja Boogie on this Night Stalker, Bane, jabs on Clockwork or Sanking or something like that. Not the Clockwork so much anymore, but
Yeah, but Lycan, I think, is a great ban for exactly the reasons you said. He's a hero that No Tail can do his job with, can create a lot of space with, and doesn't require the kind of farm
yeah,
that Monkey King does to sustain his presence as the game goes on.
that's a Tide ban, right?
Yes,
Yep.
yes, and that's
Well, that one's
I'll
really,
tell you what they
that
do
one's tough
like.
to see.
I agree
I'll
with
tell you
that.
what they do like pairing the Mirana with.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually have Naga with that too,
Yes, they
right?
do.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. They've
That's the
Naga
downside.
Jakiro has been their
That's
first
their jam.
phase. Yeah.
Yeah. They also like playing Nyx with it as well.
Oh, that's the other
happened
one.
quite-
It's Nyx.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the other one.
That was the one you were
yep.
thinking about?
Yeah, that's the other one. I was thinking Sanking because they do like a similar thing, but yeah, it's the Nyx.
Well, Nyx is like the other like super SEA staple.
Yeah.
For like the last year, he's been picked in SEA.
And it's
with
all
any
about
other region.
all about those pickoffs too.
Yeah.
It's like
And
it
then
works
if you
so
want to
well with Mirana.
go back a bit further and get a bit more crazy, the Magnus
Oh God, yes.
is the other thing that used to
Yeah.
do a lot
Yeah.
with the Mirana.
The Ice Magnus. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
OG's turn.
They
All right,
go
so they-
Shaker again.
They love that Earthshaker.
They do, don't they? Not
I-
many
Okay.
players like it.
I
not many
really
teams
questioned that
like it.
pick, but
I think they got. I thought that in the laning phase they got run over last
Yes,
game because
exactly.
the Shaker is just a walking fissure.
Yeah. What's
even-
he? Yeah, he's gonna
you saw
play behind
No-Tail?
the DP, but he doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Did you see No Tail's reaction right there? He was like, "Wait,
10
Earthshaker?
seconds
Yeah.
Like,
remaining.
what? Really?"
They must
5
have a
seconds
strong
remaining.
belief in this Earthshaker versus
Yep.
Tusk versus Earth Spirit idea.
Jabs loves that hero.
I mean, that's been interestingly that's been Jabs' thing. When Mineski's looked good, it's because Jabs has made these heroes work at the 4 position that have just looked like garbage for most other teams. Like in the fall, it was Clockwork. Clockwork was like 25% win rate in pro games, and Jabs was sitting there at like 12-2 at one point. I mean, and it gets in your head because the 4 position for most teams is so concentrated.
Yeah.
You get used to playing against that same set of
So
heroes.
does Moon always goes Diagonums first on the Mirana, right? And then he doubles back for right click damage.
I
feel like
believe
he's
that's
like,
true.
He always go I feel like he always goes Diagonums.
They drafted Puck last time against Earthshaker and Disruptor. This time I would argue it's a better hero than it was last game.
Radiant team pick.
Whoa.
Yeah, looking back at his
Visage.
last few games, it's
Yeah,
Ag's
Visage
point.
destroys Mirana mid, I think.
This is yes, and it's so for whatever reason, right? Visage is that hero that doesn't get picked very often, but when it's run in a core position, the win rate is insane. It's like 14-6 since this year in pros, and it's also got 60% win rate. It's right up there with Lycan in 5K plus pubs, and it's almost exclusively core in pubs now too.
Quick pick PL.
Yeah, you only have
Radiant team
Earth Spirit,
Okay,
PL.
here you go.
This is Visage is. This TV is now going to be used as this big core, and Visage is a distraction.
Yep.
I understand why you made that comment. I don't even necessarily agree with it though, because I think Visage can still kill
10
towers.
seconds remaining.
Even if the TB is getting most of the farm,
Okay.
Visage is more than a distraction. He can
5
still threaten
seconds
objectives.
remaining.
I'll rephrase then. He's the game winner.
Well,
He's
but
the one to win
yeah,
the game.
exactly. But that's
you
the
go.
thing though. So I'm not just picking it to pick Nit there. Like
No, it's fine. It's good.
No-Tail's Monkey King in the last game, he was the distraction hero, but he couldn't really do anything on his own. He couldn't threaten objectives on his own. This Visage is going to be able to give you that split push presence.
And I like No Tail on micro heroes.
Oh, absolutely. Man, all of these drafts though have been so close to me. I really have not. They've both games have kind of been a coin flip.
Yeah. I see Earthshaker and I'm always, even after that last game, he suffered so much in the laning phase.
Just for funsies, and because I know you like stats, Mineski have only ever lost 2 Mirana games since the DPC began.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, the stats don't even tell the full story
They
there
don't. And
because
do you know who they lost to though?
who?
In both occasions, it was Fnatic.
Turn to ban.
Of course,
Yeah,
they're the only
it's
team that's
SCA.
that. Honestly,
The only team that found the beatability of Mirana, and even then they've been beaten a few times by it as well.
Mineski shows up at these lands, and they are running strats that none of the other teams have
Yeah.
seen before. And you know, you can scout and watch the replays, but it's
10
just not the same
seconds
thing.
remaining.
Yeah, Dota Summit and Dream League, Fnatic both won their matches
5
where
seconds
Mirana was
remaining.
featured in some form.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I remember one of those, the silencer one where they first.
And then
did
you have to go.
silencer.
You have to go all the way back to Team Liquid beating them at the Star Ladder Invitational back in October for their other defeat.
They banned Underlord. Okay.
Okay.
That catch.
Yeah, the catch and just the
Pushing out.
global split push presence.
Yeah,
on
pushing
top
out lanes. Because right now, OG, they are lacking that pushing out lanes so that the TB can farm.
So
OGs,
what?
turn
Okay, an
to
OG.
pick.
They
That
win,
I was just
and
about
they
to talk
take
about Timbersaw, and there's your. All right. S4 DK.
That's what it looks like.
No tail. Yep.
No tail visage.
So vicious. Reggio TB. I like it.
What's the solution from Mineski? What's the Daryl hero?
10 seconds
I
remaining.
mean, they.
Not even
I guess
Daryl
they
knows
could
that.
go Monkey King again.
Not even Daryl
5
knows.
seconds
That
remaining.
Monkey King, I think, versus Earth Spirit and Visage is hard.
Yeah.
The trees,
I agree.
you get spotted, your trees get knocked down all the time.
There are no longer heroes that stand in front of towers for you against this turret wave,
Who's
so
banned?
maybe the split push of like a beast.
I guess.
What about something nuts like Enchantress?
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I guess this could be your Enchantress game, although again, that's super dicey.
I don't like their team fight if they do that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, got nothing with that really.
That's the team
There's
fight.
your Enigma.
You may now select your
Oh.
All right. Well,
We'll have
plus
some of that. Don't mind an Enigma game from time
they
to time,
have
do we?
if this Enigma gets
That brings
gets his
together.
BKB up,
Yeah, that brings
and they
it.
have absolutely nothing to stop BKB Black Hole.
And they've got Bane Mirana, they've got Moon on Mirana.
It's a pretty slow lineup though, because you have Enigma and PL. You're relying on the Mirana to be able to create a lot of space for both those heroes, but you don't have the best playmaking supports.
Okay, Alan, which way for the final game?
He starts again? He started all 3 times.
Fogged, which way for the final
Wait,
game?
what
I'll
about
do
me?
it, I'll do it.
How
Didn't
come the
start
middle
either.
doesn't count?
Which way
OG.
for the
I'm gonna go OG. Hey,
I
I'll
said
do
it first. You can't take the same team as me, Alan.
Okay, both OGs, and
I'm going OG. Jarex, Earth Spirit.
that was a lot easier than it needed to be, really. we made that quite complicated, didn't we? Two men that don't make things complicated and make beautiful joy for us as far as the Dota world are concerned. Are ready for Game 3. Gents, how excited are you on a level of 0 to Nahaz?
I'm about over 10 times what Nahaz is at the moment because we've got an Ice Enigma and we've got
I
a
know.
Big Daddy No-Tail
You've got the
Visage.
perfect, this is perfect for you guys, isn't it? Black hole galore.
Black holes, all the micros from No-Tail. It's going to be a very exciting
have
game
fun,
for you.
boys.
Thank you very much, Red Iron. Indeed, I'm only picks up here with Blitz. We're getting ready for this Game 3 deciding matchup between these two teams. And what do we reckon? This last pick, Enigma, the panel's right. It's got a lot of strengths, this game.
That's really hype hero. I'm at a Mafia Nahaz level.
Oh, that's some pretty crazy emotional
That's-
stuff going on inside that head of yours well with that. But it's this hero that's the panel said no way to disable it once he gets the BKB online. They're going to have to be very careful with the way that they play. But at the same time, there's ways to obviously play around the Enigma and sort of force the pace before he's able to get that BKB
Yeah.
in.
Also, TB is a sick hero in this game.
Yeah.
TB's reflection is so good against Phantom Lancer because it spawns the illusions and then they'll juxtapose on top of that and create their own illusions.
Yeah,
How does a ghost image create its own illusions? That's so stupid.
It's Dota 2. Don't question the physics. We'll be here all night.
Yeah, TB as an anti-core is so powerful. I think I brought it up like 4 times already, but I was reading some interview with Ramses where he felt that TB was kind of the perfect core.
Yeah.
Because he's very good early, very good late, very good mid-game. There's like an awkward pairing for like 3 or 4 minutes where he feels a little bit weak, but other than that, scales very cleanly.
Yeah, I mean, Reflection it's a bit of a ridiculous spell. Especially if you take that talent and, as you say, against certain cores, it's almost just questionable how good that spell is alone. It really can be crazy.
It's like when you play against SF, because you get the negative armor aura, and whenever SF tries to go high ground against TB, it feels impossible.
Let's see. So, Mineski versus OG this game 3. We've seen a few ups and downs, both series having a bit of sort of the throws, the counter throws as it seems. But this game, everything on the line between these two. Down bottom, look at the caster rolling onto Moon. It's got the first leap, it's got a couple more as well.
Did a lot of damage to him though. The recharge time on the leaps too are not very pleasant.
Just what the doctor ordered.
And what lanes are we going to have? So at the moment it looks like NoTail and Jerax. They're gonna hang around this bottom lane as a duo up against that Bane Mirana combination. Mid lane, Mushi's going to be taking the PL there, and S4, a bit of the classic, returning to the mid lane for this game.
He's
Take
back.
the DK there.
S4, we missed you.
Let's see how he does. I mean, PL versus DK, how's this one going to go?
I would imagine that DK does just fine. Because DK does just fine against every single matchup.
It's a pretty robust hero.
I haven't seen that hero lose yet, I think.
No, I think, yeah. I think you're absolutely right. There's very few heroes, it seems, in the game, if any, that can actually... They can just stop a DK from farming. He's always going to get that soul ring timing. He's always going to be able to spam the breathe fire.
How many games has he dropped at this tournament, though?
We got a stat man, haven't we? Stat man?
Yeah, what's DK at?
Give us some DK stats. We'll see how
Wake
quick
up.
he's on that one. Bottom lane. And Jabugi. Maybe seeing if they can get a bit of a wrap round onto NoTail. If they do get that Nightmare set up, they've got a lot of stun, but straight up, NoTail, he's aware of something's up, gets in the tree lines, TPs himself back to the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, 3 heroes down there. And the Mirana arrow. You don't chance that whatsoever as Jerax gonna get stunned up, but still manages to drag the entirety of the creep wave.
And of course, the top lane, the last lane that we're really to mention, Ice. We'll see how he does here as he looks to put the pressure onto both Rezo and Fly on this off-lane Enigma. So far, let's get a few CS out of this lane, so it looks to be a strong start for the solo lane Enigma. Down bottom, Jerax being run down a little bit, has got the attempt here to TP out and will make it. Ninja Boogie could not quite find the range there for that level 1 Nightmare.
Yeah, that was actually really close though. Thought for a second that he was going to go down, but gets out with no issue as NoTail going to get a few hits onto him. They're trying to stop him from getting to the rest of the creep wave, but he's going to get slept up. The arrow is going to land as well. They've got a fissure follow-up if they need it.
They've got a lot of lockdown here, Mineski, and it should indeed be enough. Ninja Boogie claims first blood with that brain cell. This is the one thing that OG have to be very scared about. The lockdown from Mineski is absolutely incredible in this laning stage.
Very nice, easy pickup for them. It's now in this mid lane. Phantom Lancer gonna hit S4 a few times.
Another
The fissure. gonna
fissure.
fall.
Jabs, indeed, with this movement. Setting up for Mushi to close the gap. Can't quite finish off S4 though. The DK, just that little bit too tanky with the 2 points in the Dragon's Blood. Has the salve ready to go as well to get him back up to full health.
Did he cancel the salve with the Phantom Rush? I think that's what happened. Nope.
Nah, he's got it. He's still got it. I think he certainly may have attempted to do so. CS-wise at the moment, 14 for 5, 13 for 3. Very even, of course, between these two. And we, as we said, may start to see S4 being able to force Mushi back a bit more once he has the Soul Ring out and can keep at that breathe fire spam.
And this is why TB, especially when it comes to the early game against non-dual lanes, is very powerful because you just pop meta. No offlaner can really test you as Jarek's gonna get stunned up.
Yeah, he rolled into this one, so hasn't really got a way of getting out. Will just be able to get himself under the tower though. Still though, the attempt from this level 1 Spirit struggling as Jabs this time around on the Shaker having a much better opening with those 2 Fisher plays that he's come out with on each lane.
He's got better heroes to kill this time around. In the previous game, it felt like he didn't really have any sort of movement that really made sense. But this game can afford to be very active, as I think he's got the bottle from his Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, it's holding Mushi's bottle at the moment.
Yeah, he thought he was going to go get the rune for him, but Mushi actually would have gotten the rune himself, and it would have been a regen. So he would have had a full bottle on top of that, but just his luck.
See Jax eyeing up a play. Does just hang around, get himself to level 2 on the Earth Spirit. Still so far in these lanes. The biggest difference really being that the offlaners, you know, Notel obviously on his own down bottom. He's struggling to get CS. He's having to play it very, very scared in the tree line. Whilst top lane, Ice, he's been able to hit a good few creeps up there. He's got 19 for 8 CS at the moment on the Enigma.
Yeah, that's just how that hero works, really. That's Ninja Boogie.
Got the arrow. Do they have the damage though? With Jarek's back up, there is no chance of focusing Notel, so nothing more than just holding him to the side.
No-tail with what, like the 202 build? What are you supposed to do about that? It's a lot of tankiness, and I think instead of going for the nuke, he recognizes he needs to tank up. This is a lane that he's not going to see a lot of help in. He's more or less being sacked. And it's really no surprise as well that the Enigma is doing as good as he is, because he's almost always just going to keep denying the range creep and pull the wave back, which will allow Ice to get the creep here and there.
Mushi will back up Sao and Shrine up here before Mushi returns to that middle lane. S4 being allowed to get a little bit of an advantage now with the space there mid, as he does lead just slightly against Mushi in this 1v1. Bottom lane Moon is being hunted. Jax looking for the connection with the roll. First leap comes out, there's the second. Still has one more leap left, and that's enough to get Moon back to safety. A bit of a tricky kill there for OG to find. Maybe when the level 3's there on the Jarek's Spirit and they do have the silence as well, but until that point, the leaps are always going to be there.
Yeah, no sort of follow-up in that situation. That's okay though. It's Resolution, gonna pop an illusion and gets fissured up. Not a whole lot of follow-up here though.
So they have got the Bane here. Ideally, they want that level 6 on the Enigma before they can do something in bottom lane. They'll roll in, looking for Moon. Moon actually able to turn, get the kill on Jerax. He should pop the ballot. He's actually, with this TP play, he's actually going to survive it. So somehow, OG, they throw 3 heroes in. They don't get the kill down bottom, and they lose one themselves. Same time up top, Mineski will lose the Enigma as
Nice
OG
Fisher.
get themselves forward. Jabs does indeed hold them back. He's got a TP. He's going to try for it, but bam. Boulder smash from Jerax on point. Jabs will be held behind. And OG may have lost the trade down bottom, but they'll come top and they'll get 2 kills from OG.
Very nice sequence of events for both teams, as the offlaner is claimed, but Moon getting a solo kill in a 3-on-1 situation is obviously going to please them. But at the same time, that somehow led to the sequence of events where Jerax respawns in time and goes top and gets the kill onto the Earthshaker.
That's crazy there. The last time we saw S4 on his Dragon Knight was back in December of 2016. That was a long, long time ago. Bottom lane.
Barely catches him on the
But
lid.
he does. Ice with the straight walk up and black hole play to cut down Notel.
Moon quite pleased with his teammate there, as now he's rotated up to top. Gonna try to harass this Terrorblade up. This is the time period where he's vulnerable. Trying to take advantage of that timing. S4 completes his shreds. He's still doing fine when it comes to the CS department, as at bottom. Gonna get slowed down a little bit, but...
Oh, S4 trying to stop Mushi from getting that double damage, but he will not be successful. Double damage is there on Mushi, so now they'll turn. Look for a bit of a chase down onto S4. He's got the Breathe Fire. Reducing the damage. Mushi still jumping down, but Jerax is there from the high ground. Jumps in. Mushi in trouble. He's going to be the one to get taken down, as Jerax allows S4 to turn and punish Mushi for getting a little aggressive there with that double damage ring.
That's 2 points of Dragon's Blood on the Dragon Knight, and the PL simply just does not do enough damage, especially when he gets hit by that brief fire as in mid lane. They're trying to set up for this. Very nice Fissure. Jerax though, gonna get the double kick.
Oh, they did get the Nightmare off before though. With the Starstone from Moon, they bring S4 down low. Nightmare is yeah, not needed there. So it was first used. They go for the arrow play. S4 tries for the deny. Won't make it though. They get the kill. Same time down bottom. Fly takes down Ice Ice Ice. Ice 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 takes down Fly with the Eidolons from the grave. A 1-for-1 trade between the two of them. So all in all, 9 minutes in, very even between these two sides.
Dire's middle tower
No one
is
garnering
under
too
attack.
big of an advantage. Of course, for Mineski, their win condition is clear. Get farmed up. Your BKB plus Blink Dagger Enigma is unquestioned in this game. Ice 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 has had a very nice series for himself. All he really needs to do is get that item timing down. He's going to go for the Midas.
Do you think Midas into BKB, or will he get the Blink first?
I think he likely gets the Blink first. If he wants to, he could just go for something like a casual pipe in this game, but I think having that condition where there's nothing on the side of OG that can stop that is so beneficial to you. It makes it so that TB can't really do anything.
Dire's top tower is
Smoke
under
up from
attack.
OG.
Dire's structures
Mineski is
are
here though.
offline.
Smoke on smoke getting dispelled. Mineski sort of dancing around the side of it all. Ninja Boogie in trouble. Cast coming out immediately. He'll turn with the Brain Sap and the Nightmare. With the Maledict's already on him.
Is under attack.
Ninja Boogie will fall. Same time down bottom. Mushi trying to move it onto No-Tail. No-Tail able to boost himself out, keep the distance. The birds out a little too hard for Mushi to go for that sort of solo play.
Is under attack.
S4 with that Invis Rune. Has eyes onto Moon in the middle lane.
Oh, he's going Ags. I like that a lot.
With the Dragon Tail onto Moon. Moon thinking about going back in with the Moonlight. They will pop it, but a sentry is down. The trap is set. Fly reveals that they know straight away. They go in. Silence is out onto Moon, but the Fisher from Jabs will put OG back from diving in for more. Now with the Malefice, Ice 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 chasing down S4 with these Eidolons beating down onto DK. Oh, it's a fluffed black hole there. As he pops it down, doesn't catch anyone and immediately cancels it. Maybe hoping that he could have caught OG on the tip there, but overestimating the radius of the hole.
Ooh, that is a rough miss as at bottom. No Doppelwalk.
Oh, Jerax.
This is
Actually off the mark there with his boulder smash. They'll still try and give Mushi the rundown, but Mushi, he's looking to turn towards No-Tail. They've got the Fisher coming in onto two. Mushi jumping forward. Jerax and No-Tail hiding in the trees. Jerax will roll himself away across the cliffs. Will be fine, and No-Tail also actually able to get out of there. So despite that looking like it was going to go south pretty quickly for OG, they do manage to get everyone away from that turnaround Mineski tried to pull off.
Radiant structures are fortified.
that would have been a kill though, and I think that's why
Radiant's top tower
Jerax apologizes to his team, says my bad.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Mushi now. S4 is being watched by the birds. One stun will come through. Nightmare to hold back the other. Familiar for getting the drop off.
They wanted to defend this tower. They successfully do so. There's no black hole now on the side of Mineski, so things are slowed down even further. I do like the fact that Ice 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 isn't hesitating though, OD. It feels as though he's just going for it. every
Yeah,
time.
absolutely is. Yeah, every time that black hole's there, he goes for an attempt so far. But as we've seen, it's literally been hit or miss so far.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom lane, arrow out to S4, but S4 stands his ground with the push of No-Tail and his familiars. This tier 1 tower does not stand a chance. OG able to take the tower off the map.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They've got a lot of push, as the panel was saying, between the Visage and the Terrorblade. And of course, whilst this is all happening, lots of space being given for Rezos. Top net worth at the moment, and that's only going to continue with this sort of pressure that the rest of his team's putting on elsewhere. Jerax, though, walks into a Bane. He's been found out by the Fiend script. As Moon will claim the kill. The rest of OG still around. They'll look for the cast bounces. Won't quite be there as Moon pulls off the Delta Split with a quick leap. Familiars, though, finding Ninja Boogie. They do have the Moonlight. Ninja Boogie keeping himself out of range, but the sentry's been dropped down by Fly. Just as well to make sure they've got the full vision for this fight. OG will find one. They're looking for Moon as well. Cast bounces coming through. Resolution's there with the wraparound. Metamorphosis and Reflection rips through the Mirana. So OG taking a bold fight there into the Moonlight Shadow. They had the detection prepared, and they also had Resolution in the neighborhood to join for the fight, and now turn that successful team fight into a very early tier 2 tower push.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Very nice sequence of events as they get some very pivotal pickoffs. Terrorblade once again in this position, but Resolution, we've seen him in these positions before where they devote so much farm to him, and it feels, especially in this tournament, that he hasn't been able to do so much with it.
Sure.
Almost feels like he's playing a little bit anxiously. In this game, though, he's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting for them to win this one, because there's always the possibility that he just gets BKB Black Hold, and he's going to get dropped quite quickly. If you notice that Moon's going to go for a build that we rarely see, if ever, anymore. Hold that thought as Jarek's going to come in. Misses the kick once again, though, and Mushi should be okay. But going for the Aghanim Scepter on the Mirana, not something we see often, but back in the past, it was the counter to Terrorblade to begin with, because you want to burst this hero and his illusions as fast as possible. The double Starstorm clears up a lot of that. And with the BKB Enigma, he should be in prime position to do so as
Top
the
lane.
top.
Got the Fiend's Grip into the arrow here. S4 falling low, and he will get taken down. The damage from the Midnight Pulse making it impossible for him to arm the toggle his way out of there. Quick sleep for Ninja Boogie to hold back No Tail, as Mineski will be very happy with just disengaging after getting a free pickoff onto the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, now Jabs almost has his own completed Blink Dagger. Very even game so far, though, because even though OG have a very slight gold advantage, that comes in the form of towers.
Yeah.
And this Enigma is so scary if
Oh,
you're
absolutely.
OG, because it's just how do you mitigate the damage as he's going to go straight up for the BKB. Almost has it completed at this point. The team fight from OG. Hard pressed to deal with that as the arrow connects.
They find him in the trees
What
straight
an
up.
arrow.
They catch Rezo off. Rezo, he does have a Sunder to play around with. He's not going to get the chance, though. Jabs just drops down the slam to make sure there is no Sunder opportunity.
Okay. Did they scan for that or something?
They probably, did they not see him enter into the tree line?
Yeah, they just still.
Either
Good
way.
guess.
Yeah, heads up play there from Mineski.
Rezo thought, okay, Fissure flew, I'm good.
And Jabs actually getting caught out in the same position as S4 sweeps down there. Jabs is out. So those big items there now done. Jabs with the Blink Dagger, 100 gold, and Ice will have his BKB. So those two items ready to do. If Jabs can get some sort of setup, just buying time for the BKB Enigma to move into position in these team fights, it's going to be absolutely huge, and as you say, very hard for OG to deal with when they're pushing as a group.
Normally when you're in this position, if you're OG and there wasn't an Enigma on the side, you'd feel very comfortable because you know that the core matchup is very positive for you when you're coming to play against the Phantom Lancer. Like, look at this, he just creates his own reflection. It's very easy to deal with the PL in this regard, but the downside, I guess, is when you have an Enigma that doesn't have any sort of cancel, you can almost always just go for the TP in every single one of these engagements. Like, if you land the black hole on the TP, there's not a whole lot that OG can do to back him up except wait and watch. So from that perspective, it's so incredibly awkward for them to play. So now he's gonna queue up the Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger completed on the Earthshaker, and yeah, I mean, it's just a waiting game right now for Mineski. They're like, ah, we don't have to make any sort of moves. That's why OG feel pressure to do something right now.
They do smoke up, it gets dispelled. They know that there was someone on the low ground, but they're already gone. So OG unlikely to catch someone there, especially with Mineski making their own movements themselves. They smoke up, Jabs, Ice, and Ninja Boogie. Where are they going to find some action? They'll see S4 poke his head out in the mid lane. In fact, OG, they're going for Roche. If Mineski head over straight away, they can certainly do something about this. This could be huge. All they need is the setup from Jabs. This is looking dangerous for OG. The Fissure comes out, but Ice doesn't want to walk in. Now he goes forward with the BKB. Looking for the opportunity. Black Hole comes out. He catches two, but the damage, the physical from Resolution is too much. It doesn't matter if there's a BKB on this Enigma when he's taking the full punches of this Terrorblade as they just get ripped apart. OG take the fight, take the Roshan, take the Aegis. He just has to get Rezo in these back holes. It's just...
That is his only job.
Yeah. That Terrorblade just shredded them.
Yeah. that's the only job that he has. If he gets Rezo, there's nothing else that OG can really do. The other thing too is he had the opportunity for the 4-man pull. He backs out, thinks about it for a second.
I saw he didn't go straight in and fully commit with jabs, did he? He sort of and ahed about it. And now jabs, he's in trouble as well. OG chased down the Shaker. Quick soul assumption nuke from Noto will finish him off.
That was a massive teamfight win. Boy, oh boy. They could not afford to make a move like that. That was the 10-second BKB. That's an Aegis too for OG. That is going to be their counter. The way to deal with the Enigma Black Hole is if Rezo has an Aegis every time, then he's going to feel much more comfortable about this. He'll just respawn and kill you anyways. And that is a massive whiff from Mineski in the teamfight division.
Those ults, as we said, that the Black Hole on a very long cooldown. They need to do big things with it. Ice, ice, ice.
Yeah, for another minute and a half.
Yeah.
They would avoid fights anyways because of the Aegis, but even more reason to. That's why we were talking about him black holing the TV for so long. Because I figure if you go for any other target, then Rezo will kill you really fast.
Yeah,
he deals a lot of damage.
He's got the damage. You just get absolutely melted.
Yes. I think Jarex kind of understands that something's up. They're going to connect to the rest of the team.
Dire are scanning.
The scanner hits. OG know that Mineski are making their way down here. Resolution. Looking for the cutoff. Ninja Boogie quick with the Nightmare. Hiding in the trees, goes straight for the TP out and he'll make it.
Yeah.
So Mineski are able to avoid that sweep coming through from OG. Jabs, and ice though up top, going for the TP out. And as well, they'll also be safe, getting themselves away from that.
Blink Dagger now completed from Blue. That's Fly gonna walk in. There's the stun though from the DK.
Got the chain control and they certainly have the damage. OG, no messing around there. And in fact, up top, Jarex, he's found jabs in the trees. Jabs will turn, give a bit of a fight back, but with the Magnetize, slowly but surely ticking jabs down. This is a bit of a tense 1v1. Jabs does have the echo if he feels it's necessary. Is he going to pop it just to get the kill? We'll see. No, he holds on to it, and that'll mean he does lose his life.
They might just go high ground off of that. Jarex's pick.
There's no shaker for 20 seconds. It's not the longest of times, but in a world when there's a Terrorblade hitting your towers, it certainly will feel like the longest of times for Mineski. As a tier 3 goes down, OG, 21 minutes in, are taking the full set of racks mid as well.
That is a game changer because all of a sudden, Mineski are completely on the back foot. For a while, it looked like they were very comfortable with the pace of the game. They understood that they've got this ultimate hero in the Enigma. He should be your game winner. But getting racks to 20 minutes, losing that Roshan, taking that disastrous fight, and losing the Earthshaker like that, he really needed to be there for that. If he just fissures the high ground, the threat of the Echo should be enough to hold OG back. But as a result of Jarex's very nice pick. But 2 games in a row, we have seen whatever team happens to be ahead eventually loses, so I've got no idea.
Yeah, this is correct. I mean, as you say, if you've seen game 1 or game 2, you would understand it's very hard to call which way the game is going to go at the end of the day. Because sure, OG have the lead, they're taking a racks, but we've sort of seen that happen both ways in the last 2 games of this series.
He's just rocking around Invis.
They do have all the ults here on Mineski.
He's going to get a ward down too. Very deep ward.
They've got the combo Mineski, but they really need the perfect opportunity to find it. And of course, OG will be doing everything in their control to make sure that they don't get caught out, grouped up together. As Mushi continues the split push, as he tries to find his way towards the BKB.
This time around though, Mushi has changed his PL build, alternating from the usual Battle Fury that he goes for. Although he has gone for the SNY, which I know a certain analyst absolutely despises. But at least he has gone for the Diffusal. Because I know Fogged would be really mad if he went for the Battle Fury and the SNY.
But the thing is, he's gone for the Diffusal, and he's 0-1-0.
Yes.
He's not been actually able to get involved with anything with what was a relative. He's actually 0-1-0. He's not been in any of the fights as this Diffusal PL. And he did get a good timing with the Diffusal. So I'm a little surprised that he didn't maybe try and get more involved with the team with a Diffusal first.
I think that he was probably in a situation where he's like, guys, we don't have to take a fight. We have BKB Enigma, like, we're all good. And it felt like that was the case for a while, but when OG walked into Roshan, that sort of changed the entire game. Because Mineski were suddenly in a position where, like, do we give this up? No, we should go for this fight.
24 minutes in, Rezo's got a full Scardy. Even if he does get caught in the black hole, there could be certainly a chance for him to live, get a Sunder out after it. Here they go, they're going for the play with the Moonlight Shadow.
Oh, they scanned him.
Let's see what they can find. They'll find Fly first. Fly, chucks the cast counter creeps, will die. They have the arrow connection onto No-Tail. They do get themselves 2 quick picks and don't need to use either the Echo Slam or the Black Hole. So a good movement there from Mineski. Good invasion of the jungle. And they do get the bigger kill being that No-Tail Visage off the map.
Yeah. Both teams scanned, but weird situation as you see Jerax pop the ulti to try to clear the creep wave as he's going to get stunned up.
They're hunting. Fisher and Arrow was just off the mark, but still Moon. He will find him. Jerax, out of really mana to play around with, will get caught out. So off the bat, that's really 3 kills from that movement from Mineski. And this is what we're sort of talking about, isn't it? Where we said, you know, OG, they have the lead, they managed to get a set of racks, but in this series we've learned, you cannot count one another of these teams. They will make these moves from behind.
I trust no lead in this series. Fool me once, shame on you.
But all in all, definitely, the Terrorblade he is looking absolutely massive.
They will kill him though with Midnight Pulse Black Hole.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Midnight Pulse, of course.
The
Very
double Starfall also just chews him up. Rezo needs a BKB to take the next fight.
Mineski and OG, really both teams just keeping themselves very close to one another, not wanting to get caught out alone. They still, as I say, they have the Black Hole, they have Echo Slam. Mineski are under that ward at the moment, so OG know of their whereabouts. In fact, OG's smoking over. The ward will be dewarded. But OG, they're looking for a fight. Jump forward from Jerax. BKB immediately popped from Ice. Gets the jump out to the sideline. They'll turn towards Jerax. Jerax getting bursted down by the Starstorm, but at the same time, the Shaker on the high ground gets taken down. Ice says, we got a TP out of here. He's out. Ninja Bogey will not be quite as successful. But the rest of Mineski on the run. Moon will TP himself out. Mushi hiding in the trees. Resolution will come hunting, but no way himself to cancel that TP will mean Mushi is also out back to safety.
They might transition this into a push with 2 heroes dead, but they're both supports. They'll be up in no time. Arcane Rune was used by S4 when he popped his ultimate, so that'll also be up in short order. And I think for OG, the next play is honestly to just wait for the Aegis, because you need a way to counter the BKB Black Hole, and the best way to do so is if you get Rezo and Aegis, then you force Mineski's hand. Then at that point it becomes very awkward for them as I think this courier was on a gem hunting mission, and
the gem, Moon's gem, of course, already being taken up by. They did grow. Who they got on at the moment on OG? Have they sent it back to base? They have. It's on the courier at the moment. So OG just keeping it in the base for now.
yeah, that was a fairly significant pickup for them.
Still maintaining a 4K lead here, OG.
If they get a pick though on Ice, same thing. They would try to go for the high ground to at least force the buyback. But without any shrines for them to take, they're just trying to take control of this area and then walk into Roche Pit, which can respawn in a minute. They're going to go for the scan. They know that the PL is there, and Mushi.
Ooh, he's got a lot of heroes here to deal with. Doppelganger immediately will be caught out by the Boulder Smash from Jerax as Mushi will fall.
That is a significant kill. They might actually just go and grab a tier 2 off of that. With Roshan still being down, they're pinging to go. They're drawing a line around this area. I figured they'd just go top, though. I think that's a safer play.
A full minute without that PL. Moon
He's gonna run into pick up a DD.
There's backup coming in. Fly and No-Tail spotting this. Mirana jumping all over the place. They'll continue to chase. Another quick TP from Jarax to close the gap. Moon tries for the TP on the high ground, but the catch is there. Dragon Tail and Boulder Smash holding the Priestess of the Moon down. She's gone for 65 seconds, and OG getting two big pickoffs, one after another, just before Roshan is about to respawn as well. We'll be back up in about 15 seconds.
That was a very cool maneuver because OG, they represented, they're like, oh, we're going to go for this top push, which is exactly what I thought they'd do. And they read the next step ahead. They're like, this Mirana will think that we're also doing the same. She'll think that we're just going to go for this easy top push because we're down a hero. And instead they go for the kill on top of that because they understand that this area is theirs to own anyways.
Mid lane Fisher. Closing the gap, but Ninja Boogie unable to actually get the Fiend's grip off. Quick silence from Jarax, stops the proceeds of the Bane.
Yeah, very confident. And now Roshan's up. They've got a creep in there. This is going to be massive because this is the way that you counter that BKB black hole.
I mean, with this Roche as well, you know, we looked at Rezo a moment ago, who was working on the BKB. He's now got the BKB and pretty much the money for a Blink Dagger on top of it as well. And we've already talked about how good Reflection is. If he gets himself in the middle of these fights, pops the BKB and Reflection, suddenly the entirety of the fight, Mushi has to sort of spend running away from his own illusions. It's just so much for this PL to deal with.
Now they're in a position where they can position themselves to take top. And this Terrorblade, you've got to kill him twice. There's no refresher onto this Enigma. Instead, he's opting to build the Octarine core for even shorter cooldown. He's already taken the talent, but it's now quite an awkward position because OG, I think this is going to be the Aegis that they'll eventually use to take the next set. Because you want to put pressure with this second Aegis. This should be another set of racks for them.
Radiant are scanning.
It's the best way to deal with these like massive cooldown ultimates like Doom or Chronosphere or Enigma's BKB Black Hole is you simply just get an Aegis, march down, force them to use it in an inefficient time. And Rezo's tanky enough that I think they have to commit it, or one of their major abilities anyways.
Just walking up and down between this middle and top, making it very hard for Mineski to leave the base at this point. OG just having full control over the map. If anything, Mineski just sort of waiting for a slip-up so they can punish it with their team fight. But it's going to get harder and harder as the net worth lead increases for OG. 10k lead now.
All comes back down to that first Roshan fight that they took. But Resolution, out of mana. Gonna go for the Butterfly next. This Phantom Lancer is doing quite well against them. Just sending the illusions on him constantly so that they can't go for the immediate high ground transition. He's even gonna pop a Clarity. Don't know where he got that from. Okay, never mind. Fly's got two in the holster.
Got it out to it.
He pops the Reflect to try to clear through some of these illusions.
See with the Mirana as well, Moon just building the Dagons now. Wants to go full in on the burst.
And he's got
these high armor heroes.
He got the level 20 talent now too.
Yeah. This is where the fun begins for the Terrorblade, and the fun really does end for that PL for Mushi if he gets caught out by the Reflection. Having that insane amount of uptime with the spell can be so hard to fight against this as a PL. I mean, Mineski. What's the plan here for them? It just feels like they absolutely cannot get out of this base.
Wait out the Aegis. Force OG into a desperation situation where they feel like they have to use it. But Rezo, he's going to go for it right now. He's tired of this.
I mean, he just pushed it on his own.
Yeah.
Do have a Fisher.
He is pretty alone right now.
I mean, he just pops the Reflection, and as you can see, Mushi already starting to say, you know, quite a bit of a punch back from it, and Mushi just can't commit onto the Terrorblade. He has to back away.
They're splitting up right now. Mineski being forced into a position where they've got to choose. This TB will take your racks quite quickly, though. Ice, 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 though, is the man to watch. In this engagement, Rezo's going to walk up this high ground.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Jump forward from Moon, trying to burst the resolution down, but of course with that Scud, he's got a lot of HP. Bottom lane, Ice will jump in with the two-man black hole, but the net comes out. The Helm of the Dominator play there, cancelling the black hole through the BKB. This Enigma will buy back, but the top set of racks in trouble. Bottom as well getting forced in by OG. They'll jump forward, look for the Shaker. Mushi trying to return fire as he goes onto S4. The buybacks are coming out. They need to find kills with these Mineski. They found the DK. They look towards No-Tail. With a magical burst, they will bring down the Visage as well. They keep the bottom racks alive, but of course the top racks were fully cleaned up there by OG. As we could just see, we talked about looking forward to seeing No-Tail's micro, and one thing that we really failed to mention, if he can get a Troll Summoner, the BKB Black Hole, it's just counted.
That is something else. And now you're in a position where you are quite far behind 2 sets of racks. The next Aegis should just mean the end of the game, I think. It was a great decision by OG. And it didn't feel like they had damage anyways. While the hole was going on, you still got it off for a good clean 2 seconds. But I don't know how I feel about this peel, but it feels like he just doesn't deal enough damage. Moon, kind of in a similar position too. He goes for the Dagon for the further burst, but he doesn't deal with this split very well. When they just decide to go for the high ground, without a BKB of his own, he can't really get up close and dirty. He has to rely on this Enigma catching so many different heroes in that hole.
They really do need some 4-man, 5-man spectacle at this stage, as it really is all falling apart for Mineski. OG just turning up here in this game 3 with very, very tight performance. One of those games as well where this time round it's been a smooth advantage for OG. There's not sort of been any ups and downs in this game 3. This is just a sort of an advancement of OG as we've been through this series, that they just continued to tighten up their play. Yeah. But as we've said, game 1 and game 2, the outcome looked pretty sure. It was turned around. Maybe it would happen again this game 3, but this time round, it's going to have to be on another level for Mineski, as this really is a sizable advantage for OG at the moment.
This is a DD Terrorblade. They're going to go for it, even with the Enigma. But he does have a Refresher Orb. This is quite the massive item for them to pick up on the Ice.
Okay.
The level 20 isn't too significant, but the double...
He's got to do something insane.
Yeah, the double BKB Black Hole, this is their way back in.
They've got the Moonlight. They've got the smoke. OG playing careful there. They're not coming into the base.
Yeah, DD's been popped though. This is the timing.
All eyes on Ice for Mineski at the moment. Under these sort of situations, he has to keep his cool if he wants to keep Mineski's hopes strong here at ESL One Katowice. And maybe that massive lead here for OG, but the game certainly not over. Mineski, there's a window. It's a very, very small one, but a good black hole could open the game back up.
They're not going to commit for it. Instead, very smartly, they're most likely going to wait for the third Aegis of the game. Roshan can respawn in a minute now. You might as well wait for that. Everyone's starting to pick up quite a bit of farm. Hurricane Pike, an item we don't see often on Dragon Knight. Picked up. I think he's trying to go for the play where if he can time it fast enough, he can get out of the black hole himself by 4-stepping away.
OG just keeping all 3 lanes shoved in to Mineski. It's trying to enforce a slow but painful death upon Mineski at this stage. The Dagon's continuing to be scaled up on Moon. We'll see if he finds any sort of crucial bursts if the black holes are successful. But the split push play is just going to be what they continue to roll with. Top lane, jump in. Did you get the stun onto Moon? Moon held in place by the Familiars. Moon's gone and does not have buyback. Went fully in on upgrading his Dagon.
And Ice popped his BKB, thinking there was going to be a fight for that.
Now with that information, OG
Oh, this is so rough.
They're moving in. Mushi tries to go on Fly, but Fly with the Glimmer Cape keeps his distance. They're losing the bottom racks. They're losing their tier 4s. They'll try and commit a jump forward from Ice. There's the first black hole. Manages to get S4 and No Tail. Can Mushi finish off the dragon? He can. S4's down, but Resolution moves across with the Metamorphosis pummeling into the tier 4. They've got that second black hole.
Refresher.
The charge. He's moving forward. He doesn't even need it because the Echo Slam, the setup. Mushi, he gets an ultra kill. Jabs with the control, holding down OG. They have lost the bottom racks as Resolution did continue to push up. But they are still able to take these fights as they're showing us. And as it looked like, we thought that they would need to use the second black hole, but they didn't. The Echo Slam's still doing enough when there's enough units in there.
They had more than enough damage with the triple Echo Slam. I think for a second, Ice was considering it. You saw him move forward, but Jabs was like, no, hold that thought. Just chill. I'm going to finally come in the clutch, and he does. They're still in a very difficult scenario, not to be understated, where they're fighting against Mega Creeps, but you're seeing glimmers of hope, and this is kind of scaring me right now, Owen, because if you get one really sick hole, you just start pushing down. If you force buyback situations, then OG is suddenly...
I mean, can Mineski against Mega Creeps?
They have done it before.
Mega Creeps.
Was it against Kingwin? I think it was against Kingwin in the last I can't remember what tournament. I'm blanking here.
It's probably some inferior tournament, you know. This is the only tournament we care about.
They held with Mega Creeps, and
we'll see it again, and look at this.
It was at Star Ladder.
So this is that defense. Watch Jabs.
Yeah. They all start to clump together, and nobody from OG thought to themselves, like, this is a bad idea.
Look at that. It's been a long time since I've seen a good slam on a Shaker, because we just don't see that hero, but Jabs really is allowing Mineski to hold on for that last chance here in this game 3.
Yeah. The cool thing is they've got very good heroes at dealing with Mega Creeps too. This Mirana with the double Starfall is fine at dealing with it. The Phantom Lancer's great. The Eidolon's in a similar position, heaving up the plus 70 Eidolon damage. But Rezo gonna walk in, grab the Aegis.
Refresher. Oh, Fly's gonna hold it in the middle. The double Death Ward. I mean, there's multiple heroes we could see it passed on to, you know, if they want to get another usage out of the meta.
Yeah, he might just be holding on to it for...
Yeah. I mean, free with the course for the Dragon Knight as well.
Yeah.
Get that double duration of the Dragon form. But talking about double stuff, that refresher orb from Ice is just about to come back off cooldown. So he will have the double black hole once again.
That almost looked disastrous though. He was in a position where he popped the BKB already, and so, but he went for the black hole without popping the refresher so that he could BKB. He chanced it. He got away with it. They got the kill. This time around though, he can't make any sort of mistakes like that. This is a...
The two-man stun. Jarek's jumping in, pops down the Magnetize. Mineski though now back off. Mushi actually running in straight away on his own towards Jarek's. Has to be careful. Double
really
gang.
far from his
He's
team.
Playing very aggressively. Resolution, he's just ignoring it though. He's looking for the Ancient. He's moving in straight away. Mushi getting low. Jump forward from Jabs. There's the black hole. He's only holding down No Tail. Rezo actually walks into the black hole though, and they'll be able to bring down Rezo. There's the second one, but it's cancelled by the Troll Summoner Micro from No Tail. They've lost the Echo Shaker for good. Ice is getting surrounded. Mushi will fall. Mushi will buy back, but the Ancient is still exposed, of course. Jump forward from Jabs. He bursts Jarek's down low, but Rezo just stands his ground with the meta, with the BKB. Looking at the Ancient, takes it down. The game is over. OG will win the series 2-1, despite Mineski's best efforts there with everything against the wall.
Oh, that one looked really close. Ice in a position, he ran forward. He's like, okay, I'm too far committed for this. I have to just pop the second black hole, but he didn't get the BKB off for the second one. Immediately gets canceled. Well done by OG, closing this one out. This series was very nerve-wracking for them, and you can see the disappointment on Mineski. So many failed fights.
I think a rough series. I think for both teams, a lot of things to look back upon. But as it stands of now, OG, they will be feeling a whole lot better than Mineski as they will continue as they take down Mineski 2-1 in this best of 3.
Vodafone presents the post-match.
Woo, what a game. What a great game number 3 we've just had between these two Titans. Mineski versus OG, fantastic performance from both. Can't fault them for the credit that Mineski put into that game. My goodness, they came close. But in the end, those Mega Creeps, they just helped them ease on through into the next round. And it's OG that take the series by 2-1. Let's find out from our panel members what their thoughts were. Alan, we'll start with you. Great for us to watch, but not particularly good for Mineski, obviously going down in the end. But they put up a good fight.
You know what? Obviously, losing this one is going to hurt, but I want to take a minute and just ask all three of you. I don't think you can argue both of these teams look like top 8 teams right now. They look like teams that absolutely ought to be in the TI invite picture, and I don't necessarily think you could have said that confidently about both of these squads coming into this tournament. So I think Mineski takes a lot of positives, more positives than negatives out of this tournament. For OG, this looked like OG Dota. The 3 cores, each with the big pushing presence, very hard for Mineski to maintain any level of control over the map as the match went on, and the nice Helm of the Dominators to cancel the black holes with that Dark Troll net. Just well played by both sides.
Cap,
What was the original question?
are they a top 8 team?
Yeah, I think so. I think there are many series that there are series where the losing team looks better because of the fact that they took it to a strong team, and I think both these teams actually look better off of it. Like, Mineski may have lost, but I think OG is a very respectable opponent, and OG actually looks better in my mind because of the fact they managed to beat Mineski in this tough, kind of grueling series. Both of them were full of mistakes, but I think a lot of these were forced mistakes in many ways. Both teams were on a losing side of a game and managed to find ways to either be able to turtle it out or be able to expose a certain weakness or capitalize on overextension.
We'll take a look at some of the highlights. Vogt, what stood out for you in this game?
I think just Dragon Knight and Terrorblade being these ridiculously strong heroes was probably the biggest thing for me. Sure, it's like you could see Mineski, they were making all the right moves. They kept catching Rezo too, like with these, I mean, this one was absurd, the random arrow catching. Yeah. Actually, wait, I want to see what he actually sundered. I mean, I think maybe it was mid-animation, he died, whatever. But yeah, this one could have been a huge turn if they actually got the blind. We were all like, blind blink, but of course he doesn't see it.
That was potentially Mineski winning the series right there.
Yeah, I think so.
I think there was a lot of weight on ice in this game to pretty much have perfect things. Because I still feel like Earthshaker, we saw that he still is a bit weak. I think he had some impacts, but overall,
I mean, the fishes he landed were absolutely outstanding at times. I mean, that one into the roast, there was another one inside the base a little bit later. Yeah. But they were on point, but what else did he do?
Yeah, and I felt like I was mentioning, I think Ice had to have such a perfect impact on the Enigma. And, I mean, you brought it up in the thing, and as soon as we went downstairs, Notail was actually one of the first ones who told me this was before the whole Enigma thing was when Omni, when you could purge repels, everybody's like, oh, there's no way to purge repel. Oh, there's no way to stop Black Hole. He's like, there's always a way.
Yeah.
You can just get a Dominator and get a purge creep. This was before repel was purgeable, you know, relax guys.
Sure.
And now, you know, it's the same thing with Enigma. You can get the Troll War, the Troll Summoners, and they even got doubled up. They got one on Jerax as well. So they had those running around, and I mean, this game is so hard for Ice. He has to put so much weight on his shoulders to win this game for them.
Without a playmaking 4 and 5 position, Bane and Earthshaker don't really do a whole lot for you. Enigma is naturally going to be a slow hero. Like, there was just so much pressure on him to perform later on in the game.
Yeah. Look here, even this time, sure, he lands a great Black Hole. Second one, I actually don't think he got the BKB up, but it didn't matter because there was a Troll Creep there to stop him anyway. So it's like, it's such a hard Enigma game to play versus that. And I think DK is just showing more and more why. What, he's got an 80% win rate now or something. It just keeps climbing up and up. This hero just seems to be top echelon.
Yeah, definitely finding that.
Strong in all phases of the game.
Yep, very strong indeed. Obviously, we say goodbye to Mineski. Cap, another tournament gone that they haven't got any points for. And that early form that they had at the start of the season, do you think there's going to be enough to carry them into the top 8?
Oh, come on.
Because on this form, they're not going to get any more points if they don't make a big jump, surely.
Yeah, it is going to be a little bit rough for them, especially if some of these other teams actually start putting themselves back in the Tier 1. Say OG, maybe through this tournament, maybe through another one of the many tournaments they've qualified for recently, if they put themselves back in like that top 3 area, then like all of a sudden they're taking a horde of the points as well.
And then VG are playing really well right now. They look like they could be making it a top 5.
My concern is that Mineski's playstyle, I think it just doesn't quite fit into this patch as well. It can still work. I really like their Game 2 draft with the Death Prophet Dragon Knight. I personally felt like that is one way to enable their playstyle the most, but it does feel a little bit limited. It feels like you can kind of read. I mean, it was like we had that game 1, right? It was like very similar to the Timbersaw game where we're like, all right, this is all going to come down to an Ice last pick where he has to carry the game.
Yeah, I disagree. I'm very bullish on Mineski right now. I think in the last 2 tournaments, we've seen them take Liquid to a Game 3 at Star Ladder. We've seen them take a red-hot OG team, came into this tournament on a 25-2 run to a Game 3 and play really well with a chance to win all 3 games. The big worry for Mineski, I think, is that you've got another team in their region now in Fnatic that's also knocking on that top 8 door. But I still am, if Mineski's a stock right now, I'm a buyer.
All right, good. I like that. That's good to know. There's still plenty of stock out there to buy, and Alan's all in, I think, on Mineski right now. Good to know that they have a supporter here on the panel. They, unfortunately, do bow out of ESL One Cologne. OG will move on to the lower bracket, one more series away from a place in the quarterfinal for them, and of course we'll see them in the future. One more series to come today as well. The Dota 2 is not stopping just yet. It's coming up after the break. Don't forget as well, we've also got the play faster moment of the day to deal with. Would it be that newbie first blood that we saw earlier today where they did one kill 25 seconds before even the horns died? That could be the one that we feature. We'll see that a little bit later on as well. Right now we are headed to a break. When we come back though, series number 3 will be here.
They're losing their tier 4s. They'll try and commit a jump forward from Ice. There's the first black hole. Manages to get S4 and No-Tail. Can Mushi finish off the dragon? He can. S4's down, but Resolution moves across with the Metamorphosis pummeling into the tier 4. They've got that second black hole. Pushing the charge. He's moving forward. He doesn't even need it because the Echo Slam, the setup. Mushi, he gets an ultra kill. Jabs with the control, holding down OG.